Okay, today we're going to talk about luck versus skill or edge in trading. Can you make money being lucky? And can you lose money if you have an edge and you're skilled? Well, I've seen a lot of this during my career on Wall Street. Most of the guys that I've worked with that were trend traders, let's say, made most of their money off of luck, right? They were in trends and the trends materialized and they made money. Now, the differentiating factor between lucky traders that make money and lucky traders that don't make money is risk management. And ultimately, this is the bottom line to all trading, right? If you're a great risk manager, you can make money flipping coins essentially. But when you get down to skill is you have some edge and you're applying it, and statistically, probabilistically, you have an edge. So you're going to make money more than 50% of the time, or less than 50% of the time, but your payout will be positively skewed, meaning, right, you may have a 20% chance of making $100, but most of the other 80% of the time, you're only going to lose 50 cents or a dollar, right? So it doesn't have to be perfectly probabilistic in the sense of over 50%. But most strategies in the markets in hedge fund trading or prop trading rely on mostly luck. I mean, you're getting into some trend and it moves up, or you're looking for some mean reversion because statistically it happens. But the differentiating factor is going to be risk management. If you're a great risk manager, you can make money. You may think that it gives you an edge, but it just makes you a great risk manager. Now, if you're a lucky trader that's a great risk manager, you'll still underperform a skilled trader with an edge who is an equally good risk manager, right? So the top of the pyramid, right, is becoming a highly skilled risk manager that has an edge, right? So if you can do both, then you end up someone like Druckenmiller or Tudor Jones, or any of these guys whose names because they have an edge, whether that's fundamental or technical or whatever their situation is, whatever their process is, and they're great risk managers, right? So therefore, they're gonna they're gonna accelerate their returns, their alpha, compared to someone who's lucky. For example, let's take an example of a firm that I know, TransTrend. They're trend followers that have been around for 30 something years. They're compounding at around 10% a year. They're really good risk managers and they're really good at identifying trends. But over 30 years, they've compounded at 10%, right? Because what they're doing is they're saying, we're in a trend, and if the trend continues, we're going to make money, right? So we're going to be there. That takes some luck, right? Even though from a complex system standpoint, a complex system cycles between emergent order or trends, reversal or phase transition, and entropy or unwinds, right? So there's some there's some science behind why it works, but essentially you don't know how long a trend's going to go, right? A lot of guys were in copper last year and they got out when volatility exploded, but they missed a big portion of the move. So being lucky and being a good risk manager, there's a limit to what you can in terms of performance. Now, if you've got an edge and you're a great risk manager, like Druckenmiller, now you're compounding it 3 times that, right? So he's a rare case, an extreme example, but you can look somewhere between 15 and 20%. There's a lot of guys that do that have an edge and have strong risk management. So think about it this way: you can randomly make money flipping coins, trading markets, if you're really tight risk manager, right? You only lose one, but you make three or four. Whereas if you actually have an edge and you're a great risk manager, well then, the sky's the limit. You can really put up some numbers. So think about it this way: the most important skill is risk management, but if you really want to put up great numbers, you have to have an edge too. So that's today's snippet. Kept it quick, 5 minutes. Check us out on steepgreeks.net.